Week 10, Chapter 9. This chapter deals with emotions and conflict, two factors that can drastically alter communication. How hard is it for you to control your emotions when involved in a conflict? And what information did you find useful and why? I said, my personal ability to control my emotions in a conflict are going to be dependent on a variety of different factors. The person that I'm having the conflict with, is it somebody in my personal life, my family, my girlfriend, a friend, or is it going to be a coworker or a member of the community? The audience is going to be uh, very important in how I decide how I'm going to respond to this person. I'm going to give my girlfriend and my family and my friends more of a likely emotionally charged response. I may not be quite as measured or as proper when responding to them, whereas a coworker or a member of the public, I'm going to be more measured. I'm going to really try and think through my response, think about how they're going to perceive that, because it's going to be a reflection on not just myself, but of my department as well. Um, there are going to be times, though, um, when in a professional setting where things are going to get emotionally charged. I will let a member of the public um, speak down or speak poorly to myself or my crews. I'll be the first person to stand up for them, and I'll be the first person to put my foot down and put an end to any sort of disrespectful language that's being said to them. Also, whenever I teach a class or speak to my crews, I tell them there's no place for feelings or emotions on a fire ground. So if you're on a bad call, perfect example, we had a house fire a couple days ago, and we were having some issues getting the hose moved around the building to make a push into the building to put the fire out. And my third person, or my hose person, was behind me. I was on the nozzle, and she was struggling a little bit to get the hose around there. And I mean, I'm getting beat up by fire, so she heard some colorful language, which I came to her afterwards and said, "Sorry for speaking in that way, but there's no place for it. We've got a job to do, and it can get dangerous. We have to make snap decisions, and it can be life or death at times." My personal life, I also am more apt to get overwhelmed with too much emotional information being brought to me at one time. If I'm having an emotionally charged conflict with my girlfriend or something like that, sometimes I may need to take a time out so that I can really sit down and sort through everything, try and see her perspective on things, why she's feeling this way, how I'm feeling in this way. And then once I get all that in line, I can end the time out, come back, and try and articulate what I'm feeling. What I found really interesting was Mikrowski and Wheelis's take on it, where they were describing substantive versus procedural disagreements. Almost saw that as like they could have essentially been rewarded as professional versus um, personal disagreements, because it's talking about how emotions are going to be more involved in the substantive conflicts, whereas procedurals, it's almost going to be what's the best way to go about something, what's the best tactical way to go about it. So I really enjoyed reading about that, and will probably look more into that as well.